I try to make this video as raw as possible. And specifically for this video, I want to really express what I really feel about wealth. And my channel is really focused on tech. But I think people misunderstood that they thought I really want to create a channel about people learning how to code. But most of them mistaken me. Actually, I'm sharing about how actually you can use tech to leverage in terms of wealth, in terms of time freedom, in terms of earning more, in terms of to have more flexibility, lifestyle. If you choose to work 9 to 5. But for this video, we are going to talk about wealth that also maybe we can add up to combine with tech. Okay, how does wealth and tech combine? Let me define my definition of wealth. My definition of wealth is, I mean, it sounds silly, but I really take this really seriously. My definition is of wealth is when I can have lunch and breakfast with my family anytime and anywhere that I want. Which means literally, if I choose, I want to have breakfast at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, I will get it without having any penalty from a company that I'm working, or maybe doesn't have, even to the extent of having a penalty from my own business if I'm self-employed in that sense. I mean, if for those who don't understand, for self-employed, it doesn't literally means you are running a systemized business. It means if you do not appear on a certain location or at certain time at 9 a.m. in the morning, you might lose that job, you might lose that client. So which means you are closely tied to the business, and that's in a nutshell what self-employed means. Because if you die, you won't generating money. Okay, so my definition of wealth, I can have lunch and breakfast anytime and any place that I wanted. And let me share you a quick story, like how that I have finalized that tech is the only tool that you can leverage to literally earn wealth. Maybe we can start from there, because a bit of my background is I am not from a tech background. I am from a construction. I'm an engineer that specifically in construction field, construction engineer. So when I work as a construction engineer, I have realized a few setbacks, if you may, that, for example, if I want to have vacation, I need to apply. I guess this is not only apply for a construction worker, but it does apply for even software engineers, myself. Maybe annual leave, maybe we can say that, annual leave, right? And it sounds, people like normalize this, if you may. People normalize this. It's like, come on, bro, you're working with people. I mean, it's normal that you apply annual leave. And if you allow me to really express myself, that, I mean, realistically, most of us, or most of you guys will accept that it's not simply as just applying the annual leave, right? It means you need to address to your manager or your boss that oh, I'm going to take leave from certain date to this date and to the next date. And then they need to reconfirm with other employer or maybe other member of your team whether when you are taking leave, is there any other members that are able to support. And there are times where they don't allow you to take leave to those days, and it because of there are no members that are going to support you because there are other members who are also taking leave uh, in that sense. So there is no freedom. There is no freedom. Okay. And then when you also work with a company, in this case, I'm just pointing out to my previous career in construction engineer, which is approximately around 7 years that I've dwelled into this job. And then secondly is that you are bound by location. Okay. So you if you do not commute from your location in to the construction site, how that's freedom, how's that wealth, right? Okay, if you do not go to the office, if you do not go to the construction site, if you do not go to an on-site office or a place that you work, how's that freedom? How's that freedom for you? Because when you commute, it involves a few things. It involves time, it involves money, it involves safety. Okay, so people don't talk about this enough, and people try to normalize this. And I feel like this is 2026, and I feel 2026 has given a lot of superpower, and obviously one of the superpower is called AI, and I want people to aware about this. So let's going back to the location. So a location bound kind of work, it consumes time, it consumes money, it consumes safety. All right. So when you commute from point A to point B, your house to your office, it consumes time. Okay, 1 hour go to the office, 1 hour going back home, 2 hours daily. And then money, some company provide free parking, some companies not, some company provides free gas, some companies not. So majority, or maybe give the benefit of the doubt, 50% of the whole human population that are working 9 to 5 that are location bound have to spend money on commute, regardless of what it is, regardless of which country that you live in. Some country supports free public transport, but it's definitely not going to be the same across the countries. For example, maybe in Africa, maybe in Malaysia, maybe in Middle East, I don't know. It's not going to be the same. When I want to speak about something, it has to be across all humanity. Okay, if even, for example, in the world, for example, there are 10 countries, 9 countries are having free public transport, subsidized. Then there is one country called country B that they need to pay for their own their transportation. For me, it doesn't relevant because it doesn't cover globally. I'm talking about globally. If your country support free public transport, then fine, but it doesn't relate to other people or other country that have to pay for their own commute or transportation. And then your income, I don't know how to say it, income tariff. Your maybe just put income. Okay, this is, I really love talk about this. When you work in a company, regardless of how good you are, and you will realize that you are not going to define for your own income. Let me explain about this. A human have setbacks, all right, in life, and sometimes the reason why most of human being that have 9 to 5 job, in other words, they are being loyal to the company, is because they are complacent with the amount of salary that they had with the company, regardless of if the company raised their salary, because they have defined their lifestyle based on the income that they had, that has been defined by their paymaster, which is their paymaster is the company. Okay, I want you to really wrap this around your head. And they subconsciously, it has created this fear if that, such as that you have created these Lego blocks of maybe commitment, that these Lego blocks acts like a commitment. And if one of the bricks fall off, the whole bricks comes to crumble. They created this fear that they cannot lose the job. And even though they are skillful, they have also had this fear that what if I change I change company, how about the working environment? What if I change company, then I won't get the same benefit? What if I change company, I don't earn the amount of money that I had right now to fulfill or to maintain these Lego blocks of commitment? These are the fears. But interestingly, that we human being, we had so many fears of these things that we definitely cannot control. How come you have the ability to control what kind of environment that that the next company is going to be? You do not have a fully control of whether the next company will give the same amount of benefit that you had in the current company. You definitely do not have the ability to really affirm the amount of salary that you're going to have in the next company. Maybe you will have around that range, but you will never get the exact salary. For example, if I would like to say today, I want a salary of $20,000 a month. That is my desired salary. 20,000 US dollar a month. That is my desired salary. Can I assure that with my current ability that I will get that amount of salary? And if just give the benefit of the doubt that I had that position, that amount of salary, 20,000 US dollar a month, but maybe as a software engineer or AI automation engineer or AI engineer or whatever engineer, how about the rest of the human being? Will have the same spot as me? So is this relatable? If I said let's become a CEO, because most of the CEO range salary is roughly around that, between $15,000 to $20,000 or more, but it's definitely going to be more than $15,000 a month. You're having a job, you're having a fear to move out from your comfort zone, but you can be settled by having one single source of income. If this income were cut off, it is the same fear that you think about moving from where you are right now. All right. I'm not going to judge you. Most of us, including myself, are having this, but the difference between me and most of the people is that I am aware. And this is the specific video to address that. I want you guys to be aware about this, that most of you guys are having fear to the extent that you guys are looking down to people who want to learn more skill. You are start looking down at people when they start a side hustle. But in the same time, we also know that business creates limitless amount of earning. There is no cap, because if you can create a scalable business, then the amount of earning is also scalable. But if you trading, these are the keywords that I'm trying to point out. But if I would say that the limitation of working 9 to 5, if you keep trading your time with money, if you trade your time with money, how are you going to scale? So you sacrifice 6 hours, you have 18 hours. So most of us have 18 hours a day. How are you going to earn more if you are trading your time with money? How are you going to compete? It just doesn't make sense. Do you get what I mean? It just doesn't make sense when you think about trading your time with money. Okay? And then you might say, oh, get more certification. Don't you know that other people are thinking the same thing as you? All right? Get more certification. I'm not talking about skill. I'm not talking about high income skill. But you are going to the method of get more certification, so that maybe you expect company will value you more. Yes and no. Okay, I would say if I would to use my critical thinking, certification either at AWS solution architect, maybe Google certificate, Microsoft certification, these are business. These are business. Do you think a company, just because you just pass a $100 certificate, do you think a company want to raise your salary by 50%? Do you think because you have passed the certification, the company want to raise your salary up to 50%? Do you put yourself as a business owner? Do you want to make that decision? I don't think so. Because you need to understand that companies will value these, will only look up on these 3 things. Okay? Which is, companies will look up on a person who brings money to the company, and people who cut costs of the company, and a person who increase efficiency of a company. So I would summarize across all my experience that a company will willing to throw out money to you if your kind of work falls into these 3 positions. You're in a position that brings money to the company. You are in a position to cut millions or $100,000s of dollars of the costs that a companies are bear, and also to increase the performance and efficiency of the current operating system or operation of the company, so that the current system can produce more output, and indirectly it will generate more money. So how do you think by having more tax certification that the company would make a decision, unless that CEO is just graduated 1 year from his 4 years of computer science degree? I'm not sure, because learning in university doesn't mirror that you are a good entrepreneur, because university in a nutshell is a factory to breed employees, not to breed entrepreneurs. I'm sorry to say. That is my personal view. So coming back to wealth and tech, okay, just to conclude about how does tech can generate wealth, okay, just focus, I would say that tech allow you to have these core value on freedom, okay. If tech allow you to have global communication access, okay, so tech allow you to have global communication access. If you are involving yourself with a line of work specifically in tech, you will have a global communication access, which is obviously is internet. You are dealing with internet every single day, all right? And as a profession, this could be software engineer. As a profession, it could be AI automation engineer, automation engineer. It could be network engineer. Okay, this is one of the example. Okay, or maybe I could include a SaaS founder, because SaaS founder know how to code. Okay, how to code. Okay, so let's move on. So know how to code. Next, global communication. Coding, the ability to create something from nothing. So when we talk about wealth, wealth is something that you earn or you have that recurring brings profit or value towards you. For example, of real estate. So when you own a piece of land or a real estate that have a fully complete house, what you can do with that land or real estate, let's focus on one. Maybe let's talk about piece of land. If you own that piece of land, you can grow crops, you can grow paddy fields, and as season reach, you can take all the rice field, or maybe you have a different crop, so you can grow again, and you can get all the crops, and then you can grow again. Is recurringly provides value or provide profit to you. So in this context, the profits is the crops itself. If you have a real estate with a full single or double story house, so this real estate, you rent it out to some other people, so it brings you money monthly, because the rent was instructed to pay by monthly. So coding is the ability to create a product from nothing into something. For example, you have the ability to understand how to build product end to end. As of I'm speaking today, building application is reduced dramatically in terms of the difficulty to build an application. But there's a difference between a person who have actually a software engineer that have the knowledge on how the software development life cycle really works, and how does application can connect between database and server and maybe deployment and maybe front end and back end. It's different between somebody who just vibe coding without having any technical knowledge on how to connect between these services together. So these are different. And coding allows you to create something out of nothing. So you have an idea. You have an idea. You want to create a software to solve a specific problem. And because you have a tech skill, you can build your own software and you can create a monetization where it brings recurring value to you. And then as a solution, because you understand tech, you are able to have ability to work remotely. So ability to not bound by location is also like a sense of wealth. Okay, you do not have to be in certain places. And what I mean is that you can be to this to the extent of when you are sleeping at your home, you are still printing money. And because you are able to work anywhere, you can earn more by changing currency, which means you are living in a low currency country, but you are working for somebody who pay you in a high currency. If you are bound by location, you are bound by the median salary of that physical location or environment or country, because you do not have the ability to earn a higher currency, a paymaster that pays you in a higher currency. But if you have the ability to work remotely, regardless either tech or whatever, if you have a profession that able to work remotely, you have the chance, like I did, to be able to have a paymaster to pay me in a high currency form. And also you able to generate a digital product. So when I say digital product, it's not limited to eBook. It also includes SaaS. It also includes video. It also includes music. It also, maybe you want to include NFT. How are you going to be able to create a digital product if you are working in the construction? On a daily basis, you are involved with steel and rod and brick and dust. In that sense, I'm talking on a field that I have worked before. How are you going to think that I am able to generate a digital product? Okay, if you work in tech, you can create a course on how to change your career, like I'm sharing over here. If you work in a as a software engineer, you can teach people how to code. So if you able to acquire a skill such as tech, it not just allow you to work from anywhere. It not just allow you to be able to earn more, but it also contributes to you to create wealth. Okay, by creating business, by creating digital product, by being able to be anywhere, regardless of location. It doesn't bound to your own country. You can move anywhere as long that place has internet, and you can start work as a programmer or as a coder. So these are the things that I have faced after I changed my career back in 2022. And this is what I mean by how tech can generate wealth. And I hope you guys can benefit and, most importantly, aware and try to reflect on your current career, especially like in terms of location bound. Do you really have so many limitation compared to freedom, compared to flexibility? Try to reflect. And if you guys feel that I'm done, I want to change, um, you guys can subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to create a free course from zero to hero, how you going to prepare yourself and to move from your current career into tech, just like I did approximately 4 years ago. Uh, but it's not going to be the exact roadmap, because AI has been widely used. So I'm going to tweak the roadmap to be more relevant with the current situation, and definitely it's going to be much more easier, and it is for free. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, and most importantly, that you guys benefit in some way from this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.